You know, I could go on a rant talking about how awful the officiating was. I could go on a rant and talk about how every single game Clay Martin officiates for the Chiefs, they don't lose. I could talk about some of the egregious roughing the passer calls and the phantom calls that they called on the Texans that really weren't calls at all. But I'm not going to do that. However, I will say this: I'm proud of the Texans. They held it down. They did their thing for the people that they had available to them. They did as best that they could. We all know in situations like when you go against Kansas City, specifically in Arrowhead, you cannot leave it in the hands of the refs. I thought for whatever people that they had available and for the amount of officiating woes that they had, the abortion of integrity that has now plagued the game of the NFL. I will say I'm proud of the Texans. We got some things to work on. We got some things to clean up. I don't believe that giving up 8 sacks is going to win anybody any football games. I don't give a damn how great the quarterback is, how great the scheme is. When you don't have an offensive line that can block anyone consistently, you're not going to have much success. CJ did his thing this season, though it seemed like he regressed. I don't put this on him. I don't put this on Coach D'Amico Ryans. I think we all know what the Houston Texans' biggest problems are, and that is the O-line and the offensive scheme that they have been running all season long. However, I will say this: the defense looked good, the defense looked sharp, and we got to remember too, as frustrating as it is to basically be screwed out of the playoffs, thanks to Clay Martin and his officiating crew, we are still incredibly young. We are still incredibly young, y'all. We really are. We got a lot of young pieces, a lot of young talent, a lot of young and hungry talent that we can build around going forward. CJ Stroud on the offense, the Terminator on defense. I think we got a lot of guys, a lot of young guys, Kamari Lassiter, Derek Stingley Jr. We got a lot of guys to build around. We got a lot of positives we can take out of this season going into next season. And I do believe that if we stay healthy next season, and we add some pieces to that O line, if not revamp the entire O line minus Laramie Tunsil, who have in the first part of the season wasn't really doing too well, was the most penalized lineman in the league at one point in time. Then he cleaned it up. He started getting better. Thank God Kenyon Green never got back into the game that mattered. I think if we fix up this O-line and we get a better offensive coordinator, I think we'll be just fine going forward for years to come. Not just no 1 and 2 year spurt. We know we got a franchise quarterback. We know we got a franchise D lineman. We know we got franchise linebackers. We got two franchise cornerstones at the cornerback position. So we have a lot of positives going forward. And I do believe that the Houston Texans will be a powerhouse in the AFC for years to come. I do believe that had it not been for bad officiating and a couple injuries, the Houston Texans would be on their way to the first AFC Championship game in franchise history. However, that just wasn't in the cards and it wasn't in the script of the NFL league. And we know what I'm talking about when I say that. But I will say this: congratulations on the successful season, Houston Texans. Let's bounce back next season. Let's look at what we need to address, offensive line and offensive coordinator in particular in the offseason, and let's get back to it and get back to the grind next season, man. It's going to be whatever the record is. I don't give a damn. As y'all see right over my shoulder, I don't care what the record is. I don't care how bad the season is. It's forever H-Town Texans and go Texans forever, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think on the season.